Hi guys, a very good morning. Mamukase. So I just decided to come early today so that we can talk about important matters because it's very important for us to usually come and talk about important matters. So there are questions surrounding the issue of elections in 2023, and there are issues surrounding the issue of reforms, and we cannot ignore that. We need to talk about the issue of reforms because we've seen a lot of people coming out saying we are demanding reforms before we go to 2023 elections. And we need to extensively look at that issue and see if reforms are necessary. So let us look at what happened in Gokwe Kabuyuni. Gokwe Kabuyuni, we lost to SANU PF, and a lot of people are attributing that loss to the issue of reforms. But I will need to be more honest with ourselves at this point in time because I've been in the rural areas, especially in my constituency, in my ward. Tinashe Maponga, thank you very much for coming early today, this morning. Thank you very much. So, from my experience, from my ward, from my polling station itself, from my constituency, I need to actually share what I think about reforms based on that experience, which I have my personal experience with the people in the rural areas. So let me show you this right here on the screen. Let me try to put this on the screen. Right. So looking at what Comrade Set Free is saying, and the one who is blocking others from campaigning failed despite allocating himself all the time and access to the electorate. When the time comes for change to take place, no one can stop it. Not in the army, not anyone. So here is the UNPAUU PND in Zambia, and they had difficulties in accessing the electorate. That is in 2021, last year. So when Hakainde Hichilema was campaigning, he was arrested several times. They went to an election without reforms in Zambia, and without reforms in Zambia, they won the election. So they won with a very, very big margin. Why did they win this election? How did they win? It's because they were resonating with the people on the ground. Hakainde Hichilema himself was being prevented to actually meet with the people, but his councillors, his MPs were on the ground with the people, working with the people. That is an honest truth, the truth we cannot actually run away from. So that is what is very important when we are looking at the issue of rural areas, when we are looking at the issue of winning elections in the rural areas. My view, I always mention this. My view is that the people in the rural area, they want assurance. How are we assuring them that in 2023, if we win elections, or if they vote for us in 2023, they are going to continue to have access to the things they are having access to right now? For an example, there is poverty in the rural areas. They need maize for sadza. That is the honest truth. How are we assuring them that if we win, or if I win in my constituency, and let's assume that CCC has not won that election, if I win as an individual in my constituency, how am I going to to make those citizens survive Vasina Chibage, because NPF will not give Chibage on that area. Those are the assurances they need. How do we give those assurances? Let us go and begin to spearhead my projects. Let us begin let us go and make sure that we begin to empower the kids in the schools. Let us pay tuition fees for university students. Vapfana vakapasa vaiva, let us take them to university. Mawandiro atakaita as citizens, honestly speaking, we can do fundraising are meaningful, scholarships. Those are the issues we need to focus on. Let us begin to do Nelson Chamisa scholarships. Let us begin to do mama issues of distributing mama materials in schools, my textbooks, my uniforms, and everything. Why do I say so? It's because ZANU PF itself is not going to reform to push themselves out of power. They will never do that. They will prefer to go to war than to do my reforms. That is the position of ZANU PF. So if we continue to cry about reforms each and every day, I need to show you something. I need to show you something, and this is something with a direct effect on the people of Zimbabwe, and we cannot ignore these important issues. So you can actually see that the more we continue to focus on reforms, the more we are losing time, the more we are losing other people who are actually running away. So these guys, they are not serious. How are they going to win? They don't even trust in themselves. We need to force these guys. So this is a tweet from Tim Pachedu where they said, in any election without reforms will be an endorsement of ZANU-PF fraud. Opposition will only pull a few urban seats, while raw voters will be used to rig for ZANU-PF. Before election talk, there should be clear reforms targeting specific clauses of electoral act, no vague talk. Okay, let us say, Zvaramba, what are we going to do next? Because we've been calling for reforms, we've been calling for SADC, for AU, for UN. There are grounds right now for intervention from United Nations, but it is not intervening. So what do? Let us compose ourselves as citizens. Let us strategize and let us make sure that we win the hearts of the people. That is the honest truth. ZANU-PF is winning in the rural areas. Let us focus on making sure that in those rural areas, we are winning in 2023. How do we do it? Inini, I go to my polling station as an individual. I am talking to people who are very, very close to me at my polling station, the people who understand me, the people who I understand. I begin with educating one by one. Ndichienda on door to door. Ndichienda ndichinovadzidzisa, ndichienda ndichinotengesa ideology yangu. This is me. I don't want to be a councillor. I don't want to be an MP. I don't want any position. I'm just going to campaign for change. I'm going to educate every person at my polling station, every person who votes at my polling station. The young people, I talk to them. I put them into groups. We begin my projects in groups. Women, we join together. We begin my projects in groups. That is how the conversation should begin. Then you see, Kuti, if I do my polling station, and how many polling stations do we have in my constituency? We have around 60 something polling stations in my constituency. And if we join those polling stations together, indaita yangu, iwe waita yako, the other person does another. If we join them, and nearly 70 polling stations in my constituency, kana tese tikaita that, tikanobatana, it means kuti pakuya councillor wedu in the ward, that councillor is going to win because we are going to present that councillor to each and every polling station to say, this is our councillor. Can you vote for him? And he is being presented by somebody who is already trusted in that area, in that place. That is simple. We don't need to do grandstanding. We just need to strategize. We just need to begin to work with the people in the communities. Myself, I'm talking this from experience. There is activity, yes, in the area, but not to the expectations of winning elections. I have seen this. I have observed this. There is presence of CCCC everywhere, but not to the extent of winning elections. I always get these questions to the young people. Where is Nelson Chamisa? Where are you, the leaders? You are talking about change, but where are the leaders? That is what is very important. That is the reason why we are saying let us identify people. Vatange kutoshanda right now. The most difficult thing ndechekuti vanhu vakagarisana vanyanye kutengesana kana kuti vanyanye kurovana right now. Why? Vanhu vakuona. And people are now living in fear because of some things which happened in the past. So when we do these things, campaigning at family level, at community level, it is much easier. It is much easier, guys. So this is my take. This is my view. I don't know what you think. I don't know your view regarding what I've been talking about. So myself, I believe that reforms are not going to come. ZANU-PF is not going to bring any reforms. What they can do is to change the constitution because they have 2/3 majority already. So what they can do is they can even think right now to postpone 2023 elections and use their parliamentary majority and use their majority in the raw areas and influence in the raw areas to run a referendum to stop 2023 elections, and there is nothing we will do. They can do it. So they can change the constitution today, they can run a referendum today, and they can still win that referendum, and they can postpone elections. So what do we need to do? Let us begin to work to win the hearts of the people. That is very, very key. Let us go and make sure that we give assurance to the people in the rural areas that indeed we are the alternative, that indeed we are going to bring change, we are going to deliver in 2023. That is my take, that is my view. And I think I've done justice to this. Tinashe Maponga, thank you very much for coming this morning. Okay, Siboniso Mhlanga, thank you very much, Siboniso Mhlanga, for coming here. Never. Nyamnuna. Thank you very much, Neva. Okay, Udzai. Thank you very much. Rumbidzai Kaframa. Thank you very much for coming as well. Okay, Coletta and Leah. Okay, thank you very much, Coletta, coming as well this morning. So, Team Zimbabwe, thank you very much for coming. Let us meet in other episodes. We have a lot of issues to cover, but I have limited time these days. I think this week, from last week, I have limited time. So, I just try, Pandren free. I just try to come and so that we can talk. So, today we're talking about issue of reforms. ZANU-PF will never come bring reforms, will never reform itself. What do? We need to reform ourselves. Let us reform ourselves. The way we operate, let us change. Let us do guerrilla tactics. That is the only way we are going to win elections in 2023. During the liberation struggle, they used young people because they knew that those young people were much protected than the adults. They used them to actually identify kuti dzaiuya nevarungu kana kuti dzaiuya nemasoja and everything. That is the tactic we need to begin to use right now. In the rural areas, let us use Vapana. Those are the most complicated minds to deal with. Once they turn for change, you will never convince them otherwise. Why? It's because when they are experiencing education without textbooks and you make them experience education with textbooks, you have changed their mindset. Nobody is going to change them again. So when they go to tell their parents, they are actually telling them their experience to say, we have been learning without textbooks. Look at our performance right now. We have improved. Why? Because we have been given textbooks. I have been going to school without a uniform. I was being humiliated. But look at me now. I'm no longer being humiliated because I now have a uniform. Those are the issues which are going to change Zimbabwe. Those are the issues which are going to make us win the rural electorate. And Team Zimbabwe, change is coming, but let us gear up. Let us change our mindsets, and let us be prepared for change. Lois, thank you very much for coming. Okay, Mike, thank you very much for coming as well. So, Team Zimbabwe, I have another episode to bring here. So I need to end this one here because I'm late on the other program and other episode. Rudo Masunda, the morning, bro. I agree with you. Youths, we have power to do so. Yes, thank you very much for that contribution. Yes, we can change things ourselves. So, Team Zimbabwe, I don't want to take much time here because I have another episode. Yatononoka Kudara. So let me end it here. Then we can talk an episode which is coming right away after this one. Thank you very much for coming.